Fiat's most enticing model receives a new engine this year, in addition to an urban-inspired trim called the Urbana Edition. But does this all-wheel drive subcompact crossover still have what it takes to win over new shoppers?
Fiat's U.S. return has been nothing short of a disaster. Sales are down 54% this year, dealers are bailing, and the car that heralded the comeback and is currently their bestseller, the 500, was just discontinued, leaving the Italian brand with just 3 models, one of which is produced by Mazda. Concerning the 500X, Fiat sells only around 100 per month. Now that being said, when I first drove it in 2015, it seemed very promising. Back then, you could still get one in front-wheel drive. Now, all 3 trims, ranging from the $25,000 base Pop model to the $30,000 Trekking Plus, come standard with all-wheel drive and a new for 2019 1.3-liter turbo, replacing both the 2.4-liter Tiger Shark and 1.4-liter turbo. Also exiting is the 6-speed manual. The 9-speed auto now takes over all gear changes. Refreshed styling, inside and out, a big torque bump for improved acceleration, and an MPG increase to 30 miles per gallon highway highlight the changes. And in Italian fashion, Fiat gives shoppers plenty of opportunities to stylize their ride, like this Urbana Edition, available on the Trekking model for an extra $895. It adds black exterior features, standout copper accents, upsized 18-inch wheels, LED headlamps, yellowish fog lights, and a very cool chevron pattern seat fabric with copper logos. I appreciate quirky and individual, so this 500X has a look that appeals to me. It certainly won't be mistaken for anything else on the road. Remember, it shares a platform with the Jeep Renegade, so there's nearly 8 inches of ground clearance, another 500X distinction. So you step up into this one and sit pretty high for a little guy. Spaciousness for 5 and cargo seems decent until you look at the stat sheet of a Honda HR-V and realize Fiat has a long way to go to match that kind of smart packaging. There's a new steering wheel and instrument cluster with an infusion of solid Chrysler electronics, including new safety features such as adaptive cruise control and the beeping sounds of front park assist. Blind spot monitoring and rear cross path detection are also on hand. And I always appreciate auto high beams and rain sensing wipers. The infotainment system features Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, onboard navigation, and the simple touchscreen intuitiveness of Chrysler's Uconnect, now with faster processing and higher res graphics. My tester also has the upgraded 8-speaker Beats sound system with subwoofer, but the audio quality is forgettable. The passenger seat is height adjustable, something most automakers in this class skimp on, and ambient lighting around the inset speaker grills is pretty cool.
So here's what to like about the 500X. Standard all-wheel drive, big ground clearance, very peppy engine, and the Urbana touches look pretty cool. Now on the downside, it all just feels too rudimentary and at times crude for a car that costs nearly $33,000. And some of these touch points and electronic sounds feed into that impression. And the steering is completely void of feel, and the 9-speed auto is often abrupt.
Or is it the abrupt engagement of the disconnecting all-wheel drive system once it kicks in? Either way, the 500X can be a head snapper. The 177 horsepower and 210 pound-feet of torque give it some oomph, and the engine stop-start system is one of the smoothest on the market. But those seeking driving enjoyment beyond errand running will be disappointed. There's a sport mode that adds very little other than a buzzier engine, and a Traction Plus setting for slippery conditions. But its tall nature, lack of lateral grip, and artificial steering hinder backroad fun. Off the beaten path, the 500X expresses a more desirable nature where it feels more attuned to slow-speed adventure seeking.
These rear seats are fixed in place, and the backrests are very upright, so they're not particularly comfortable. But there is decent legroom. I just wish these big round headrests weren't right there in front of your face. You do, however, get your own sunroof.
As tested, the MSRP is $32,755, and that's about 10 grand more than I'm comfortable with, especially when the Jeep Renegade holds more appeal. For TestDriveNow.com, I'm Steve Hammis.